perdone y bienvenidos de nuevo a Feroces Diatribas. Y de Chorce soy su anfitrión, la frecuencia imitado, nunca duplicado, patio superestrella antivicioso.
Por favor. Sorry about that. Was trying to do a lucha thing, but didn't really work out. Anyways, on with this week's rant. So, starting off Monday Night Raw, they started it out really good. It was in Toronto, and of course they had to bring Toronto's prodigal son, Edge, out. So, of course, Edge, he got a huge ovation, really nice pop from him. Always good to see him. Wish he could still compete. Understand fully well on why he can't. Spinal stenosis in the neck. It's the same thing that took Austin out. You know, but he came out, started ripping on Randy, saying he's about as entertaining as watching paint dry, and well, yeah, let's face it, Randy is. But anyways, next thing you know, of course, Randy comes out and starts ripping on Canada, you know, doing the atypical heel thing like, oh, well, if Canada was going to get an edema, it would start right here in Toronto, sort of bit. Really? Heel 101, you're going to rip on the town. That's time-old classic. You can't do something a little more original? Well, actually, he did start ripping on Edge for his neck, but here's an interesting thought. Hey, Randy, why don't we rip on you for being a deserter in the Marines? Yeah, because, you know, you deserted because, I was getting picked on, I was being bullied. So fucking what? I have family that was in the Marines and they had that shit. But you know what? They either A, dealt with it, or B, had enough common sense and brought it up to a superior and had the situation handled. But you, on the other hand, you got hurt, you got your feelings hurt, so you decided to run away, and, yeah. Next thing you know, Hunter comes out, starts ripping on Edge also, saying that he's got a stack of dimes neck. Really? Hunter said, like, stack of dimes or stack of quarters for a neck more times in that sentence than I've ever heard anyone ever compare watching it, or more so than I've ever heard anyone say it, I should say. In fact, it was actually kind of funny because I was over at my brother's house that night, and had Raw on, had my little niece watching it with me, and she's only about maybe 3-4 months old, so, and she's watching it. She actually started getting she actually was all giddy-eyed and wide awake when Edge was speaking, but the second Randy spoke, literally, I'm not even kidding, it really does go to show. Randy is no good at cutting regular promos, because when he does a regular promo, instead of hearing what he's actually saying, he's sending out a subliminal message saying, my name is Randy Orton. You are getting sleepy. Very sleepy. The only time Randy's good at doing a promo is when he does that, when he has that pissed off growl voice that he has. You know, but anyways, on with what I was saying with the show. You know, Hunter was saying he wishes Edge could be medically cleared because then he'd do this and that, and them two saying, yeah, I could beat you up, I could beat you up. And then Hunter saying, I may not be able to hurt you, but that doesn't mean I can't hurt the people that you care for. And then he has the Shield drag Christian out. Then after that, you have Edge run down out of the ring, up to the rampway to go and check on him. We already all knew Christian had a concussion, so has been sidelined for a concussion, so they're going to probably use that as the reason, saying that he's not going to be in the ring for a while. But either way, I was actually hoping they would do more with Edge and Christian on there besides that, but beggars can't be choosers. Anyways, they come back from commercial. Edge storms into Hunter's office, pissed off on that. The Shield's just standing there playing bouncer like, hey, you can't get in front of him. In which case, the entire time I drowned out what they were saying, was just mesmerized by the facial expressions of Dean Ambrose, because I'm pretty sure he can make 1,000,001 different faces for just saying hi to someone. The guy switches faces and character bits, little characteristic traits on how you would look within a minute, which is saying something. Anyways, on with the actual wrestling part of the night. First match they had, Kofi versus Curtis Axel, rematch from SmackDown. Kofi won by DQ. So then they got Heyman now sweating bullets, saying that he's worried he's going to have to face Punk in the ring alone at Night of Champions. Beautiful thing about what Paul Heyman is, the man's a genius when it comes to this sport, because he really does know on how to sell things. Good example, in case you haven't noticed, the little things, like the fact of he hasn't shaved in a couple weeks. Now, I grew up watching ECW, so I seen that firsthand. He was showing signs of stress with that. He's doing this again. He's playing off the I'm getting stressed over this. If I'm stuck in the ring with CM Punk, he's going to kill me. He's going to rip me limb from limb. And like I said, the feud between CM Punk and Paul Heyman, not Brock Lesnar or Curtis Axel, but Paul Heyman, is probably by far the best feud that they've had the entire summer, which is saying something. But anyways, next match they had, it was Dolph Ziggler versus Bray Wyatt. Really good to see. Would like to see Dolph actually get a match without him having to job to someone. Although, on an interesting note, last week I called that they were going to have Ziggler versus Ambrose in a U.S. title match at the pay-per-view. Well, it may not have been last week. It may have been a week or two. But either way, I called that they were going to have Ziggler versus Ambrose at Night of Champions for the U.S. title. And lo and behold, the next day, they did. They booked it. So you know what that means? Someone's listening. Someone's watching. If you're watching and you're listening, you damn well better make sure you guys do a hell of a lot of the shit that gets said on here. Because I guarantee that it will sell. Anyways, Bray Wyatt wound up winning. He wound up getting Ziggler with Sister Abigail. It's a beautiful finisher. I absolutely love it. I wish I could have done that or the reverse headlock that Ambrose does. But, I stuck with the originals when I wrestled. I did the Vicious DDT. So, anyways, that's me. Next thing you know, they're hyping up all night, talking about with Goldust versus Randy Orton. And if Goldie wins, Cody gets his job back. Now that's all good. Really happy I was able to see Goldust again. Not gonna lie, I wound up missing that Raw when he wasn't on, when his last match before that one, and it drove me nuts. Wound up missing his last match before this, and it drove me crazy because of that. But they have Heyman coming out now saying that he has a bad knee, and before he even goes and says anything about the knee, he does Heel 101 again, rips on the town. But not on the town per se, but on the actual country of Canada, saying he doesn't believe in a socialist medical system. Can't say I blame him, I'm a capitalist myself. But Anyways, he says he brought his own personal doctor from New York. Me personally, everyone said that it looked like Brad Maddox had a twin but with a beard. Me, I thought that doctor looked like a young Vince Russo. But that's just me, and I don't know. I think I may be a little weird for that being the first place my brain went to. Anyways, the doc said he had a tear in like his ACL or something, and that he wasn't medically cleared. Next thing you know, Maddox comes out saying, "Oh, we have our own doctor here on the WWE payroll that can check you and see if you're medically cleared." And then reviewed over Heyman right in the ring. And that's when you really knew that it was a guaranteed shoot, that it wasn't a shoot per se, like I was actually about to, but it was that it was a guaranteed work, because, you know, if they'd have kept that in the back, that would have been a lot more believable instead of having the doctor examine them right there in the middle of the ring. But anyways, the WWE doc said Heyman's medically cleared, he can compete. Cue CM Punk's music, he runs down to the ring. Heyman, hallelujah, it's a miracle. He starts running like a bat out of hell. Hops over the fence, runs through the crowd, beats up Axel, and then goes and grabs Vince Russo, MD, and beats him up with the kendo stick. And if you're wondering why my kendo stick right here is not there, it's because I had to go and get it worked on. Long story short, me and Cranky Asshole, last night we went out and we reenacted the Great Caning Massacre of 2005. Which case, that was a lot of fun. But that's neither here nor there. The only good thing about the reenactment of the Caning Massacre was this time there were no minors. And Cranky Asshole didn't try and sodomize Mae Young again. But, anyways, now that I've just given you all a very disturbing image. Now, anyways, onwards with the show, they wound up doing a 6-woman tag match. They had Layla, Alicia Fox, and Oksana versus Natalya, Naomi, and the one Bella who didn't get the boob job. I can't remember their names. You know, easy enough. They should just get like a tattoo on their forehead or something so that way you can tell them apart. That way you can remember which one's which. You know, and then you got AJ come out, sit in commentary saying on how the Total Divas women don't deserve a title shot, whereas Oksana, Alicia, or Layla, she'd rather have it go up against them instead of the others. My big thing is with this, really? This is going to wind up turning to Bella's face, and do we really want that? I mean, come on, nobody really likes the Bellas to begin with. But now you're going to make them faces doing this, and you're going to make it just like, oh yeah, now that they're going up against them and AJ, they're good guys now, yay! Really? Fuck you. I don't like them, I've never have, I never will, and especially considering the fact that I found that WWE put a picture of them out there wearing Steelers gear, more of a reason for me to not like them. Next up, Alberto Del Rio versus R-Truth, squash match, not worth talking about. Next thing you know, you got the Antonio Cesaro come out, and of course, Canada's very own. Wait, Canada's? I thought he was from Sicily. Oh, no. No, he is from Canada. They just made that up saying he's from Sicily. Versus Santino. The only real impressive part of the match was when Antonio Cesaro had Santino by the legs and was spinning him around. Because he did that for like maybe a good solid minute and a half, I think. And that was crazy. Not Santino, but right after Antonio was done, he just stood over in the corner, not holding it or nothing. Not holding the ropes or nothing, but just stood there. Next thing you know, not even shown any sign of being dizzy whatsoever. That was fucking impressive. Another thing I'm disappointed with, the fact that Antonio Cesaro is not getting the push that he deserves. Push Cesaro. The man's got the 3rd longest U.S. title reign in WWE history. And what are you guys doing with him? You're pairing him up with Zack Swagger, who, for all intents and purposes, is a watered-down Kurt Angle, who's not at all in any way, shape, or form fun or popular to even see. And anyways, next thing you know, you got Damien Sandow versus The Miz, and semi-decent match. Next thing you know, you got Fenn Interrupter. No, Fenn, I forgot he had a feud going with The Miz. Yeah, that's it. Fenn, I forgot he had a feud with Miz, because really, nobody really cares about either of the guys anymore. The Miz is a horrible babyface, and Fenn, he wants to motorboat your mother, is only popular because the Euros in the New Jersey crowd on Raw were singing his song. That's the only reason why he's over. But yeah, next thing you know, Sandow won, but the fact is, this is getting ridiculous with this boring feud. Next thing you know, they're gonna have Miz come out with a wig trying to do like Disco Inferno. I really hope that doesn't happen now. Anyways, match of the night that I've been waiting for. My opinion, it was the match of the night. Goldust versus Randy Orton. Very good, nice quality match. Reminded me of the match that they actually had on Raw way long time ago. The only difference is this wasn't no holds bar, and Randy didn't shove Goldust into a electrical wall, and then Goldust get electrocuted and then randomly develop Tourette's from it. It was really good to see Goldie. He showed a lot of good counters, a lot of good maneuvering. Was kind of disappointed he didn't get to see him do the Shattered Dreams. He had Randy lined up for it and was getting ready to go for it. Next thing you know, Randy pulled out right at the last second, and no one make any dirty jokes on that, please. That's not worth it. Anyways, next thing you know, Randy went for the RKO. Goldie wound up reversing it and hit him with a Crossroads, which was impressive in and of itself. You know, and got the pin, 1, 2, kicked out. Could see the frustration on Goldie's face, you know, and the whole time, though, that was also getting me with the match was the fact that JBL kept on talking about, saying on how Goldust's feud with Razor Ramon, Goldust's feud with Razor Ramon, Goldust's feud with Razor Ramon. That's the God honest truth, because some of Goldust's best matches in the early 90s were with Scott Hall, Razor Ramon. That's just me, though. Anyways, after that, they start going at it again, normal, back and forth, until eventually Randy hit the RKO, cut a cheesy promo, and then walked to the back. Next thing you know, next match they had after that was Rob Van Dam versus Ryback. Why they decided to do that, I don't know. I mean, the whole Ryback rules thing, it's not really impressive. I mean, when you got him in his regular street clothes, you got him looking like he's trying to be like Bully Ray. And when you got him wrestling in the ring, you got him looking like Goldberg in a singlet. Make up your minds, creative. Come on, which is he? Is he Bully Ryback or is he Ryberg? Which one? Because I really don't want to see a mix of the two with him saying, "Do you know who's next?" Or something like that. Because not a fan of either of those catchphrases. Anyways, RVD got the win by a DQ. Ryback picked up RVD and did a nut check on him through the ring post. Ref called for a DQ on that. That's that. Next up, they had the main event. It was Bryan versus Ambrose. It was a good, solid match. I liked it. You know, Ambrose wound up doing a lot of good hard-hitting moves. So did Bryan. Yeah, Shield, obviously, they were trying to interfere as much as they could. Now, the thing that got me earlier during the show, I'm not talking about all the stuff that happened on the show because I'm trying to squeeze the important stuff. But Hunter wound up saying that he wanted Big Show in Bryan's corner, and then later on in the night, Steph wound up saying that Show can't put his hands on the Shield. Now, obviously, he never did, you know, but the thing is, after the match, the Shield did the typical roll-on on him. Show hopped into the ring to intimidate them. They backed off. Randy came in, and then Show started to walk away. Now, this is just me here, and I'm sorry if I'm splitting hairs, but I thought his orders were he can't put his hands on the Shield. There's nothing saying he couldn't do it to Randy. You know? Because Randy was holding Bryan up, saying, "Come on, hit him, hit him!" And then they had him hit him. But really? I am getting sick and tired of Randy doing nothing but winning the battle, of winning all the end segments of the night between them. It's boring and it's getting repetitive anymore, and really not interested. It's to the point to where the second Bryan's done in the main event, I want to turn off the TV. You know? Have him win the end battle of the night. You know, when you have him fighting the Shield, have him take down this guy. And then when the other comes in, boom, take him out. And then the other one comes in, boom, take him out. And then when Randy comes out, you know, he goes to hit the RKO. Next, you know, stop him, hit him in a move, and then put the submission on him for a minute. Make him scream, and then let go, and then run. It's a good idea, ain't it? Anyways, that's all the time for this video, so like all normal, don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel, go back, watch all the other episodes. Look for me on Twitter at Tim Vicious. Also look for my backup, Tim_Vicious, because Twitter decides to be a douchebag every now and again and suspend me. And I don't have the paper with the people on there this time, so want to make sure. Also, meant to put them on the list. Haven't in a while. Real sorry I haven't for you, bud. Make sure you look on Twitter for Axel Mulligan. He does Raw and SmackDown blogs. Look for him on Twitter. Ask him for a link for them. Does really good insights on there. I would like to say it's basically kind of like what I'm saying, but in a very well thought out form. But, you know, we just agree on a lot of stuff. But he puts it in a lot better perspective than I ever could in written form. That's why I do it on camera. Anyways, look for Axel Mulligan. Look for KCat26. That Roxy Girl, JX2001_ it's VBitch, James, Roxy, and Vicky all got their own YouTube channels. Also, don't forget to look for Mucky Morris, Helen Robson 82, Meow_Cakes, Jerry Soriano, Team Custom Made, Cranky Asshole, and like I said, man, like I said the night of the Caning Massacre, no knives. let's see, where was I? Cranky asshole. Stacy Impact W fan. Legion Lady Aaron. Legion of Nerds. Don't forget to check out legionofnerds.com also. And I don't remember if I said it or not. Brain's a little scrambled, but leave any and all interesting questions, complaints, concerns, comments, grunts, and groans right on down below. And like all normal, you love me great. You hate me. Fuck you.